I am happy to be talking to you, Amos, today. Could you please introduce yourself and what do you do for business?
Yeah, I'm Shyaka Amos. I'm Ugandan and head of the Genesis Children Foundation. The Genesis Children Foundation is a child organization that was built to help homeless children and orphans in the locality we live in Uganda for food, to give them food, shelter, and education. I think I'm done with the introduction.
So let me ask you this, Amos. What is this foundation exactly? What does it do?
It provides shelter, food, and education for these kids with no fathers, with no parents, and the homeless ones that, in this country, people can produce kids and neglect them due to the alcoholic and the absence, lack of responsibility, and leaving the kids to meander in the locality we live in, giving them no food and no ways of living.
Let me ask you this personal question. Why are you interested in helping homeless children?
I believe that my sustainable mission in this world and the life I'm living is to improve lives in the locality I live in. For the few people in our locality like me who have accessed school and have studied and have traveled, like we have been in village and in Kampala, our city, we see the difference in the communities that are developing, and we wish to for in our locality where we live in. So by improving lives and by making sure that my money can go in helping people to improve their lives, I have a feeling that I can contribute to my community and the locality I live in for a better future of these kids and the people we live in here.
Yeah, that's a very important message, but excuse me for saying this, like you yourself like don't have enough finances to support your own life and support the lives of these own kids. Why are
Mm.
you dedicating your time for other people while you could dedicate this time for your own self benefit?
I have a feeling that when I dedicate this time to these people, to these kids who are homeless, they will help many people back in our village. Like in this locality we live in, when my time and my attention goes to these people and the little finances I have a feeling they will pay off in the nearby future. Yes, I may not get that rich and having the money, the cars, the the mansions and the what, but I believe like living a life, teaching these people how to live and showing them a way will prove a better way for our community to develop and to be well known.
Yeah, that's so
Hello?
interesting. Yeah, I'm here. Are you there?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's a very interesting message. So let me ask you this question. Where do you get your budget?
My budget. Yeah, for my small savings and the people can contribute. And for these kids, for some who are good in education, they are funded by these schools. Schools can come and they do interviews. If they are good in education, they can take them on bursary, they can feed them, and that's reducing on the responsibility we've been having on them. And my friends, we have a small group of friends that are so supportive. They can give you money if needed, and they provide the SNE. We started that group to help building this orphanage and this charity to enable these kids living. And before coronavirus, our jobs when they were not shattered, and we had someone that we could go to churches, our campuses, and we showed them how we are working on this, and they could lend us a hand in other way like financially. But by now many of the things are closed, campuses, churches, so it's hard to access the budget now, but far back it was somehow easy because we could explain to someone, and due to their financial stableness, they could give us and lend us a hand.
Do you think you have enough help from the surrounding community?
It's not that enough. It's not enough help because many of the people in the community are not well off. In the locality we live in, many are not above the poverty line, and those who are above the poverty line don't believe in helping. They are self-centered. There are many politicians who help you because they need votes, and they are not willing to do a community work. You know, people have different goals and you can't judge them. So the community we live in so hard, but I have a feeling they will, with time when these kids can access free things, and when they grow up, they will tend to have a heart that can help.
Do you think that Africa has a bad mentality?
Yeah, some people, many of the uneducated people think that helping is not that, and this orphanage thing and helping kids, they don't see it as a career, or not so much, like they don't believe in, many of people don't believe in like 20 to 50 years to come from now, because when you help this kid, he can grow up to be a good person, and with that background where he was helped when he's had nothing and he was helped into becoming someone powerful, he can do and he can contribute to the community. He can build orphanages, he can preach people, with interesting stories and stories that can make someone live another of living.
What do you need to change in the African mentality to be able to improve and sustain your project?
Maybe what I need to change is the mentality of self-centeredness, and I believe that the sustainable mission on this world is to improve lives. When God gives you life and you're able to access some resources, sharing it and creating that relationship.
Let me ask you this question. Are you there, Amos? Can you hear me? Hello?
I was saying, it's changing the mindset from the. Yeah, I was saying it's changing a self-centered mind.
Yes.
I was saying it's changing a mindset from self-centeredness and using the little we have to improve lives as a community, and to keep going, to keep pushing, and to educate our children for a better future, to polish their minds to use the little they have, because we as Africans have resources that are idle that we can use and develop a community we live in.
Yeah. Amos, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, please.
After changing this mindset, it will be easier for our community to develop due to the minds we will be having, because it's about changing the mentality. After changing the mentality, these people will be so cooperative and they will be not fighting, and reducing the self-centeredness and the corruption and the other leaders, people who aim at lobbying people, not working for them. Thank you.
Yeah, great. So how easy or how difficult is it to change these minds? Amos?
The hard part of it, yes?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
The hard part of it is changing from self-centeredness, but this can be done by educating them, showing them good deeds of the people that worked for people, that improved life, to perform better, loves to leave a legacy that will be talked about.
Yeah, can you hear me, Amos? Yeah, can you hear me? What are the conditions in the foundations like right now?
The conditions by now, due to the epidemic, due to the coronavirus situation in the country and the whole world, the limited earnings that we can't access money now, it's hard. The situation now, it's not good because many of the kids are home, they are not schooling due to the epidemic, and many of our jobs are shuttered now. It's hard to access money for the food and the goodness of the kids. But I believe when the conditions are good, people will be willing to pay, will be willing to support and to lend a hand to these foundations because it's improving lives and it's changing the way, the point of the way how people view the areas, view the locality we live in and view the lives. Because if you can improve lives with no, no, no like personal gains, I believe that it can change with time.
Yeah.
Do you
Well,
copy?
yeah, I am here. That's an excellent idea. So let's go to another wider idea. What should these children be doing right now in an ideal world?
I believe the kids can be schooling. It when the perfect world is possible, they can be schooling, they can be polishing their minds because they are still young. And I believe they can participate, they have talents, they can dance, they can play football. But due to the limited situation, they can't access those good ideas. But I believe in an ideal world, they can be performing better and they can be good people.
How inhibitive or how prohibitive is the poor situation for these children's minds?
The kids, due to torture and a mindset of lack, they have not been performing good. But I believe with time, it's about creating love and showing people that everything is possible that can help them push in a life that is good and adorable.
Yeah. What do you need to be able to instill this mentality in these children?
It's about the facilities and when the abundance of food and shelter is here and educating them norms and values of good responsible citizens, of not stealing, of believing, and of working hard to achieve what you believe in life for.
How easy or how hard is it to network with like-minded people like you in your area?
It's hard. It's hard because many people like personal gains and like living a life of luxury where they can't save, where they can't put in money or invest in something they are not earning from. But I believe people with the same mindset are easy to communicate and to tell them that people who are future focused and who are focused about 10 or 50 years to come from now, it's easy to explain for them and they can easily understand.
After how many years do you think your place will be living in the ideal world?
I believe I have a company, a technology company I started that develops software and websites and hosting part of it. I believe when this company is settled that can feed the orphanage, I believe we can build a school, build a good shelter, and create a, a farm that can feed these orphans and other business that can generate money for their education. And I believe like in 10 years, only if I'm supported in these few years, they can make this possible. But using my own
Mhm.
available resources, which are limited by now, I believe it can take time, like 10 years.
Yeah. Why didn't you head into a profession that generates more money?
I believe in a life that improving life is the best life you can live, because even if it's money and fame, they can't bring satisfaction in your soul. But I believe in helping someone and seeing him laughing, knowing that you have done your part. I believe in making a world a better place and doing my part as a person.
Is Africa the continent of suffering?
No, it isn't. Maybe due to the wars, the brutality of the people living here, the corruption, and the self-centeredness of the leaders, people have turned to describe it as a continent of less joy and more suffering. But I believe it can change with time when we have leaders that have morals built on things that of hard working, of believing and helping people. It can turn into a continent because of good people and of not suffering, of happiness, because the resources are available in Africa. Just you need to polish them and you need to educate people. That's it.
Do you think there is a good chance that these children will contribute to the development of Africa in the future?
Yeah, that's why I can work foot and I can work with all my ability and I can put in my energy, because I believe when these people are brought up in a good way, they can provide to a good future. They can be good leaders, they can be good citizens, they can develop technologies, they can hard work, they can do everything that can develop this country and this locality and the continent. Yeah.
Amos,
I'd
what
like to
else?
thank you.
Excuse me. What else would you like to say?
I'd like to thank you for your time and the questions, and I believe that with time we'll be able to maybe to share these ideas to others who are capable and who are willing to promote this idea of helping and living in a community that will believe for the good things to come.
Amos,
Hello?
I really thank you for your informative input and for your help and for your humanitarian work. You're really an inspiration for this place.
Thank you so much.